Dodgers trying to catch lightning right now. 4-3 A's, 2 out, 9th inning. Not a bad opening act. High fly ball into right field. She is gone.
With one swing, Gibson gave the Dodgers a stunning 5-4 triumph and forever earned a place in baseball lore. Hershiser had clinched the pennant with a 7th game shutout of the Mets, and now it was just a matter of time before he'd add to his stirring string of success with his 2nd consecutive postseason blanking.
And now it's a case of everybody up. A crowd of 56,000 at Dodger Stadium tonight. And now the chant, Oro, Oro. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him.
The Dodgers' impossible dream would, in fact, be realized if Hershiser could just get 3 more outs. All that was left in a season that saw the A's win 104 regular season games. But they'd be done in by a team of unmeasured chemistry, incredible heroics, maybe even a touch of destiny, and certainly a man with the Midas touch.
Got him. They've done it. Like the 1969 Mets. It's the impossible dream revisited.
McNamara then decided to remove Schiraldi and bring in Bob Stanley, but the Mets' magic continued. Mookie Wilson was down to his last strike too, but he kept battling, finally forcing Stanley to throw a wild pitch, which scored Mitchell from third, tying the game. The Sox had just seen their lead and their championship slip away, but now they were about to watch the unwatchable. When Bill Buckner let Mookie Wilson's grounder slip through his legs, the Mets' comeback was complete. Down to their last strike, New York never gave up and stayed alive by winning a miraculous game 6-5 to even the series at 3. Then, after a walk to Tim Tuffle, Keith Hernandez delivered the hit that turned the series around. Hernandez's final hit of the series scored both Mazzilli and Wilson, not only cutting the Sox lead to 3-2, but also shifting the momentum to the Mets. One batter later, the game was tied when Gary Carter lofted a pop-up to short right, which Dwight Evans couldn't catch, allowing Backman to score from third with the 3rd run of the inning. Then, in the bottom of the 7th, with Calvin Schiraldi on in relief of Hurst, Ray Knight put the Mets ahead. Knight's homer was one of 3 runs the Mets eventually scored in the 7th. With the Sox now down to their last strike, Jesse Orosco threw a final fastball by Marty Barrett, and a memorable World Series was over. The Mets had won simply because they refused to lose.
Some 56,000 fans here and over 65 million television viewers know that Hooten can't afford to walk Reggie Jackson again. One swing, and Jackson hits it on a line into the right field stand. The Yankees seesaw back into a 4-3 lead. Randolph on first, Elias Sosa pitching. With 2 swings, Jackson has 2 home runs. Now the crowd's mood shifts, and so does this man's, as he ponders what elixir he needs to get Reggie Jackson out. One of the game's most enigmatic free spirits stands on the threshold of baseball immortality. But in the 8th, all thoughts are with this bundle of contradictions. Both the man and his potential for the incredible has everyone in its grip. What could Tom Lasorda be thinking? And what could be in reliever Charlie Huff's head? They all await the final chapter for this self-proclaimed Mr. October. Reggie Jackson stamps his name forever into the pages of World Series history. The bottom line, most homers, 5. First man to hit 3 homers in a row in one series game. Most runs, 10. Most total bases, 25. Magic time. The greatest single performance I've ever seen, said Tom Lasorda. These Yankee fans just won't quit. They demand a curtain call. There's no quit in the Dodgers, though. They scratched for a run in the 9th off a now tired Mike Torres. But when Torres squeezes Lee Lacy's pop-up, it's all over. The Yankees win it 4-2.
It's the 12th inning, and although it's after midnight, the only empty seats are in the Cincinnati bullpen. And their 8th pitcher, Pat Darcy, is pitching against Carlton Fisk. Fisk takes the first pitch high. Ball 1. Then he swings. There she goes. Now watch Fisk. He uses all the body English he can get. He will tell reporters later it was a question of it being fair or foul. The wind must have carried it 15 feet toward the foul pole. I just stood there and watched. I didn't want to miss seeing it go out. Here it is again. How to sum up this game? Well, maybe it was done best by Cincinnati's Pete Rose, who said, "I never like to lose, but I'm proud to have played in this ball game." The unbelievable 1975 World Series goes to Game 7. There are 2 outs, 2 on, the score tied, 3-3, and 2 strikes on Joe Morgan. Burton throws a slider low and away. Fred Lynn charges hard, but he can't reach it. Griffey scores with the go-ahead run. And meantime, Pete Rose shows him why they call him Charlie Hustle and how he got to be named the series' most valuable player. For the Boston Red Sox, it has all come down to this turn at bat. Cincinnati gets 2 quick outs, and now it's Will McEnany against Carl Yastrzemski, who has made it happen here so many times. Yes, it's a high fly ball to Geronimo in center field. And the 1975 World Series becomes not just history, but history written in big, bold letters for baseball fans to point at for years to come. The Cincinnati Reds are the world champions.
The clutch-hitting Yogi Berra smashes the ball down the first base line. And Nelson makes a spectacular stop and steps on first base, retiring Yogi. But Mantle evades his frantic tag and dives safely back into the bag. Meanwhile, the run scores and the game is all tied 9-9. Bill Mazeroski, leading off the Pirate 9th, watches the first pitch for a ball. Terry, very cautious, takes a lot of time getting the signal and eyeing the batter, but here comes the pitch. And there she goes. It's a long one to left field that's heading for the wall as Berra keeps going back, 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 and you can kiss it goodbye. It's a home run for Mazeroski, and the Pirates win 10-9 to become the new baseball champions of the world. Pittsburgh fans waited 33 long years for this. The victory of the Pirates was essentially a team triumph. It was a tribute to their indomitable spirit that they kept rebounding from crushing Yankee bombardments and then finally won it by stealing the very long ball thunder of the Bombers. Even Hollywood couldn't have dreamed up a more thrilling finish, and it came with a dramatic impact that makes baseball unmatched in the world of sports.
It's past sundown, and just like an old Western, both sides line up for the final shootout. The fans are also primed, including a record television audience. With Baltimore fans counting down the outs, Pittsburgh's Man of the Year takes his cut. Young McGregor knows the score, and so does everyone watching Willie Stargell clock the bat. Bill Robinson tells the story in Dance Memorial Stadium in silence. This large man has finally met his long-deserved hour of deliverance in the game of baseball, as it did for his late teammate Roberto Clemente in '71. The spirit of Willie Stargell comes home to its source, the family.
Nice go, Will. That's the way to go, big man. All right, that's the way to put us in front. All right.
It's 2 insurance runs in the top of the 9th. And in the bottom, a weary Jacoby is 1 out away from giving Pittsburgh its 5th World Championship. Four to 1 Pirates. Pop Stargell and company have done it.
It's still 3-3. Lee May leading off the 6th. And a spectacular stop and throw by Brooks Robinson gets him. Or does it? From ground level this time, the ball clearly beats the runner. It only seemed he didn't have a chance. And Brooks Robinson now does it with his back. A game breaker in the top of the 7th. For Robinson, his first hit of the series, and coupled with his brilliance in the field, it makes him the first-day hero. Cincinnati on top again. Second-time starter Gary Nolan delivers to Brooks Robinson. And boom, it's a 1-1 ball game. The lamp black under Robinson's eyes seemed to drip with emotion. There is one more memorable moment before the curtain comes down. Johnny Bench leads off the 9th. And again, Brooks Robinson jams up the machine. Fair or foul, Houdini at the hot sack does his thing. For Mike Cuellar, after a rough start, the series comes down to 1 more out. The pinch hitter is Pat Corrali. And poetic justice directs this routine grounder to the right man. Sweet bird of ecstasy. The year-long run for redemption is over. The Orioles, in the role of beaten favorites, come roaring back.
When the Yankees get 2 runners on in the 8th, it's a further test of Lasorda's trust. Despite having given up 9 hits and a career-high 7 walks, Valenzuela is left in to face Bobby Mercer, the American League's most productive pinch hitter. It's a bang-bang double play. Say's brilliant play squelches a Yankee rally and caps a perfect day for number 10, both in the field and at bat. And now the final chapter is about to be written in the unlikely saga of the unflappable rookie and his emotional manager. This 5-4 win is a testament to the power of positive thinking, the emotion of Dodger fans, and the courage of a remarkable rookie. The Dodgers' comeback mission no longer seems impossible. Guidry has retired 15 of the last 16 Dodger batters, and although he averages only 6 innings per outing, he shows no signs of wilting. Pedro Guerrero at bat. Suddenly, it's a tie ball game. Just when it appears the spell's worn off, the Dodgers find their comeback magic again. Still, Lemon sticks to his laissez-faire doctrine, letting Guidry face another dangerous righty, Steve Yeager. The serenity of a Sunday afternoon pitching duel has been shattered by back-to-back home runs. And with shocking speed, the Dodgers have taken a 2-1 lead. A subpar Ron Cey finds himself in a key spot, lopes on second with 2 out.
Get it out! All right! That
This RBI single opens the floodgates as the artful Dodgers continue to produce runs in every way imaginable. There's no looking back for Yankee fans. They now have to get Pete Guerrero or else. Or else watch their World Series hopes slip away. Two more Dodger runs come scampering home on a 430-foot triple by the red-hot Guerrero, and the Dodgers widen the gap. For the 5th time in history, the Dodgers are World Series champions.
Now in the Reds' 9th, Jerry Lynch bats for Don Blassingame, and Whitey Ford retires him on an easy pop fly to Clete Boyer. Eddie Casco is next. Ford works on him carefully. Casco hits a ground ball to short. Tony Kubek comes up with it. Here's the throw on to first base, and it's in time for the out. Now only Pinson stands between Ford and one of his greatest triumphs. Pinson lifts a soft pop fly to Kubek. The ball game is over, and the Yankees win 2-0. Ford has his 3rd straight World Series shutout, his 8th series victory for a new record, and he also is closing in on Babe Ruth's mark of 29 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. Now Roger Maris leads off in the Yankee 9th, with the score tied at 2-2. Maris takes a strike. And then with a count, 2 balls and 1 strike, Bob Perky prepares to pitch. Maris set at the plate. There's a long drive going to deep right field. It's going, it is gone. A home run for Roger Maris. His first hit of the series and 11 times at bat. But it couldn't have been a bigger one as it sends the Yankees into a 3-2 lead. Ford is only 1 out away from a new record of consecutive World Series scoreless innings. Elio Chacon is the man he must retire. Chacon grounds to Richardson, who throws him out, and that makes 30 straight scoreless innings. Whitey Ford, the little lefty with a big heart, has shattered one of Babe Ruth's most cherished records. Hector Lopez now comes up. Lopez really ties into one, a tremendous blast that rockets high over the wall to the right of the scoreboard for a tremendous home run. Several fans scramble up an embankment in pursuit of the ball. Howard and Skowron score ahead of Lopez, and the Yankees are turning it into a rout with an 11-3 margin. Daly is now on the brink of victory. Pinson represents the final gasp for the Reds. He tries to check his swing on Daly's first pitch, lifts a pop fly to left that Lopez gathers in, and it's all over. The Yankees win 13-5 and once again are world champions.
McNally now faces Al Weiss, one of the Mets' modest heroes. Base hit. Ed Charles comes home, and the Mets are back in front 2-1. As Ron Taylor comes in to relieve, the situation is ticklish for the Mets. Brooks Robinson's the batter. Powell's on first, and pinch runner Marv Rettenmund is on second. On the 3-2 pitch, both runners are going. A ground ball to third. Ed Charles makes a split-second decision, throws to first. Out! The game is over. The Mets win it 2-1, their first World Series victory. The Orioles now have runners on first and third with only 1 out. Up steps Brooks Robinson. You may not believe what you're about to see. It is probably the most incredible catch in World Series history. Watch the right fielder, Ron Swoboda. Here's the man of the hour, Ron Swoboda.
Brooks Robinson was up, and I tried to play him a little bit closer because I wanted to eliminate the possibility of any ball dropping in front of me that I could possibly throw the run out at home plate. What did happen was he hit a line drive to my right, I thought I got a good jump on it because I wanted the ball to be hit to me. That's an important thing for an outfielder. I wanted the ball. What happened afterwards, I guess, was as big a surprise to me as it was to anyone in the stands. I had to dive for the ball, and when I left the ground, I had no idea that it would hit my glove. It hit and stuck. I came up and tried to throw, but it was useless. The run scored.
When J.C. Martin is sent up to bat receiver, the Orioles change to a left-handed pitcher, Pete Reichert. Martin drops a superb bunt to the right side. Reichert's throw ricochets off Martin's wrist, and Gasper comes home with a winning run. The Mets win it 2-1 and lead 3 games to 1. This game-ending play produced a delayed controversy. Was it interference? Even though stop-action footage shows that J.C. Martin was in fair territory when hit, it was not ruled interference because, in the judgment of the home plate umpire, Martin did not intentionally interfere with the play. McNally now faces the Mets in the bottom of the 6th. The Birds leading 3-0. Cleon Jones is the leadoff batter. Lightning strikes twice. He too looks like he's hit by a pitch. But wait a minute. Is he or isn't he? Don Clendenin carrying the argument for him. But the clincher comes when manager Gil Hodges brings out the evidence. See, a baseball with shoe polish on it from where the ball struck Cleon on the foot. The umpire admits the evidence is overwhelming and promptly awards Cleon Jones first base. Now with a man on first, McNally has to face Clendenin, the series' most potent slugger. Clendenin really belts one. A tremendous home run, his 3rd of the series, setting a record for a 5-game series. Last of the 8th. Score tied 3-all. Ed Watt now pitching for the Orioles. Cleon Jones, the first man up, really lays into one. And just misses a home run. He winds up with a double. 1 out later, Ron Swoboda comes to bat. Swoboda belts a liner to left. Buford makes a nice running trap, but it goes for a double, scoring Cleon Jones with the lead run. 4-3 now in favor of the Mets. Dave Johnson at bat. Number 1. The New York Mets are number 1. Baseball champions of the world. The celebration goes on and on and on.
And now in the 9th, Mike Boddicker looking to finish a masterpiece, and he's only 1 out away from doing it. Mike Boddicker has followed his 14 strikeout performance in the championship series with a splendid 3-hitter in the World Series. In the 7th, it's Baltimore's turn to threaten. With 2 out, Rick Dempsey has doubled. Pinch hitting for Jim Palmer, Joe Altobelli sends to the plate right-handed Benny Ayala. And after a wild pitch moves Dempsey to third, Ayala delivers. Rick Dempsey's run ties the game at 2. And then up comes Dan Ford to face Al Holland. The lead seems to have changed so suddenly. Baltimore 3, Philadelphia 2. Philly's starting pitcher is Charles Hudson. And in the 2nd inning, he faces Eddie Murray, whose series batting average is only 125. Finally breaking through, Murray puts Baltimore up 1-0. An inning later, Eddie Murray again. Putting his name on a towering blast, Murray has belted 2 home runs and 2 at-bats, driving in 3. In the bottom of the 9th, with 2 out, The contrasting expressions tell the story. Scott McGregor needs just one more out. Cal Ripken has it, and the Orioles have won the World Series. Baltimore becomes only the 4th team ever to win 4 straight after losing the opener.
In the 9th, there are 2 on with 1 out, following singles by Quillisi and Valdespino. Koufax takes a look at second, pitches, and Nossick whistles a liner to short. Will spears it and tosses to Dick Tracewski, who races over to cover second. It nips Frank Quillisi off the bag for a double play that puts a sudden end to the inning and the game. The Dodgers win 7-0 and take a 3-2 lead in the series. Willie Davis tied Honus Wagner's record with 3 stolen bases, and Wills tied another with 4 hits. But it was Sandy Koufax who showed the way. He fanned 10, allowed only 4 hits. He was simply invincible. Lou Johnson leads off for Los Angeles in the 4th. With a count of 1-1, Johnson hammers a long drive down the left field line. It may be foul. No, it strikes the foul pole screen and drops back onto the field as Allison watches helplessly. It's the 2nd homer of the series for the 32-year-old veteran, who was hurriedly called up from the minors last spring when Tommy Davis, the team's leading hitter, fractured a leg. All season long, the aggressive, spirited outfielder was a vital factor in Dodger success. Koufax faces Earl Batty and fans him on the 3rd pitch. Now Sandy is 1 out away from victory as Bob Allison steps into the batter's box, representing the tying run. However, Koufax reaches back for one final burst of energy, and Allison fans. The Dodgers are the new world champions, coming back from 2 opening defeats to vanquish a powerful Minnesota team. In the end, it was the golden arm of Sandy Koufax that lifted them to that final dramatic triumph. It's the 4th World Series victory for manager Alston, a new National League record.
The pressure increases on Horner when he walks Mickey Stanley to load the bases. And this brings up a veteran player of 16 seasons, Detroit's sentimental favorite, Al Kaline, playing in his first World Series. With 1 out and his team trailing by 1 run, he's the man on the spot. The count's 1-1. And Kaline loops a hit into right center. In comes Lolich and McAuliffe with a tying and lead run. It's 4-3 Detroit. Kaline is having a great series.
It sent the goose pimples off my back, and it was a tremendous thrill to think that I was able to do something for the fans after all these years.
Lou tries to check his swing, but Lolich has him. And the Tigers win 5-3 and send the series back to St. Louis. With 2 outs in the last of the 9th, Mickey Lolich faces Mike Shannon. 1 out left. Mickey looks the picture, relaxed concentration. But there goes Lolich's shutout as Shannon homers to left field. It gives the Redbird fans one last chance to cheer. Tim McCarver's up, 2 outs in the 9th. It's a pop-up. Bill Freehan waits for it. The Tigers are the new world champions. Willie Mays takes over in center. Don Hahn moves to right as Rusty Staub's ailing shoulder is too big a risk in a close game. Darren Johnson's pinch hit shows that even the best can be done in by that old devil's son. When Reggie Jackson signals Johnson home, Tug McGraw needs 1 more out. With runners at 1st and 3rd, he faces the hero of the 1972 series, Gene Tennis. Harrelson doubles, and McGraw's sacrifice attempt pops over the head of hard-charging Sal Bando, and the Mets have runners on 1st and 3rd. Raleigh Fingers recovers to get 2 outs, and it's all up to Willie Mays. The final hit of Willie's fabulous career breaks the tie, and the Mets lead 7-6. McGraw departs in favor of George Stone. Stone becomes the 11th pitcher of the day, tying a World Series record. Stone finally settles the issue after Jesus Alou singles Jackson home, and the Mets escape with a wild and woolly 10-7 victory, accomplished in a mere 4 hours and 13 minutes. It's a new series marathon mark, and just about the same amount of time it takes to fly cross-country from the Bay Area to the glittering lights of New York City. In the 11th, Ted Kubiak walks. Then Harry Parker gets 2 strikes on Angel Manuel. Jerry Grody explains what follows.
The ball was scuffed on one side, and the ball had been sailing. Apparently, Harry had turned the ball around without realizing it, and the ball went the other direction a little bit, and being a little bit on the tired side at this stage of the game, I just couldn't react quick enough to catch the ball.
Shades of Mickey Owen in 1941, as Grody's pass ball allows the potential winning run to advance to scoring position. Campaneris delivers. Kubiak races home, and the A's extra inning comeback victory gives them a 2-1 edge. Bert Campaneris' home run gives Oakland a 2-0 lead, and the A's fans have championship fever. Campy's clout was the first Oakland home run of the series, and no one is more aware of that than the American League home run king, Reggie Jackson. Jackson's blast is a clincher. The A's lead 4-0, and Reggie's one-man show wins the acclaim of the critics as most valuable player of the '73 series.
And that brings Tony Kubek to the plate with the bases loaded, nobody out. Kubek hits sharply to Pagan, and it's on to first for a double play, but Skowron scores to give the Yankees a 1-0 lead. Matty Alou leads off for the Giants in the 9th. Beats out a drag bunt. With the score 1-0, he represents the tying run. After one bunt attempt, Philippe Alou swings away. Boyer is relieved that he missed. Philippe then strikes out. Ralph Terry also strikes out Chuck Hiller. Now Elston Howard goes out to talk to Terry, while the menacing Mays steps into the box. Mays hammers the ball down the right field line. Maris, with expert fielding, rushes over, cuts off the ball, keeps it from bounding on toward the fence. He gets his throw away quickly. Straight into the hands of the cutoff man, Bobby Richardson. Bobby whirls and fires the ball to the plate just as Matty Alou is rounding third to head for home. The relay stops him. He has to go back to third while Mays continues to second with a double. And thus the tying and winning runs are in scoring position. Manager Houck talks to Ralph Terry. A tense situation where a base hit could change the picture. And it almost does. Willie McCovey hits a tremendous curving drive to right. But it's a foul ball, and the fans groan. McCovey slashes away again. A sizzling line drive, but it's right at Bobby Richardson. He grabs it as he played McCovey perfectly. The ball is hit with such power, it seems to force Bobby's hands almost to the ground. The Yankees win 1-0 on a brilliant clutch effort by Ralph Terry, the hero of the 20th World Championship won by the New York Yankees, who's carried off the field on the shoulders of his jubilant teammates.
Finally, in the ninth, San Francisco stirred as Clark and Mitchell began the inning with base hits. With fresh arms at the ready, La Russa made the kind of trip that Stewart likes to see.
When I turned around, I saw him running to the mound, which is not his procedure for taking a pitcher out of a ball game. I knew he wasn't going to take me out the game, and I was thinking, you know, this is going to be my chance. If I give up a run, then he's going to take me out. If I get outs, as long as I'm getting outs, I get a chance to finish the game.
So Stewart fanned Matt Williams. Then Ernest Riles, and Dave was thinking shutout.
Now it's second and third with 2 outs. So knowing that I had a chance to shut this club down, I wanted it badly. I go 3-1 to Candy Maldonado, and I'm thinking, don't give in. Find a way, and I threw a low sinker on the outside part of the plate. He hit a ground ball for me, shutout.
And it's grounded to third, backhanded by Phillips, straightens up, and Stewart has his shutout. A home run derby with Oakland is a no-win proposition, and 1 inning later, Henderson, who had already hit one off the top of the fence, went the extra yard. There's a drive to deep right center field, and that one is gone. Dave Henderson this time hits it over. And after Kelly Downs walked Lansford, Jose Canseco brought the resurrected Giants back to earth. Drops down, and it's drilled to deep left center field, and Jose Canseco on a 2-2 pitch has hit it out. 1 out later, an encore from Dave Henderson. The official lineup change had Don Robinson on the mound for the Giants in this most crucial game. His first mission, as is the case when you face Oakland, would be to take the voodoo out of Ricky Henderson's bat. But that was one ritual Giant pitchers hadn't mastered. Well, Robinson did keep Ricky off the base paths, but not in the way he had planned. Henderson had set a record by becoming the 8th different Oakland A to homer in the series. But now the lap of luxury belonged to Oakland, and behind Eckersley and its dauntless defense, the A's took a giant step. A's trying to sweep, but the Giants have certainly not made life easy for them tonight. It's a ground ball to the right side, speared by Phillips, flips to Eckersley. Yes, he's there in time, and the A's are the world champions.
Frank Robinson steps to the plate in the Oriole 4th with 1 out and nobody on. Drysdale fires, and Robbie blasted deep to left. It's a home run. A tremendous drive of 410 feet. That's number 2 for Robbie in the series. He topped the majors with 49 during the season, and Dodger pitching hasn't been able to slow him down a bit. Frank heads for the bench, and a hero's welcome from his mates as well as the fans. With 2 out, Drysdale faces Powell, and the big fella gets all his brawn into a towering drive to center. Willie Davis goes to the fence, leaps, and he has it. That catch is almost unbelievable. Let's see it again in slow motion. Willie quickly gauges the ball's depth and heads for the fence. Now he looks again and sees it to his right. He takes 5 strides laterally along the fence. Then up he goes for the ball. Up and back, in fact, because the ball actually was beyond the fence when he grabbed it. After 2 quick strikes, McNally pitches again, and Johnson flies to center. Blair is there. He takes it, and the Orioles are the new world champions. The leaping Blair is joined by Frank Robinson and Russ Snyder. Meanwhile, the celebration in the infield is just as wild. a mad, swirling mass of delirious Orioles. It's the first sweep for the American League since 1950. And the Baltimore Orioles, who were supposed to be short of pitching, set a new World Series record of 33 consecutive scoreless innings. Started by the veteran Mo Grabowski and finished by 3 youngsters named Palmer, Bunker, and McNally.
By this time, the fans are pulling for Koufax, the Brooklyn boy, to break the strikeout record. Harry Bright, coming up as a pinch hitter, may be the last possible victim. Koufax unleashes a fastball, and Bright swings at thin air. Sandy takes his time now with the count on Bright, going to 2-2. Then he fires another flaming fastball. Bright swings and misses for strikeout number 15. Koufax has his strikeout record, and the Dodgers have a big 5-2 victory. A milling mob of Dodgers surround their hero. Sandy Koufax is baseball's man of the hour. Besides his own record, he carried Roseboro to a new mark of 18 putouts for a catcher. Here comes Mantle to the plate. The Dodger lefty looks toward first and then slips a third strike past Mantle. A slow breaking curveball. Elston Howard is next. But one more out and it's all over. Houck is beginning to feel the worst. Koufax pitches and Howard drives the ball to deep short. Wills makes a fine play on the ball. Then he gets off a quick throw to second base. It's in the dirt, but Krasuski has it and the Dodgers win. No, it's not over. Krasuski has dropped the ball. Umpire Gorman has reversed his decision. Richardson is safe at second base. Elston Howard is on first, and the Yankees are still very much alive. A hit now, and anything can happen. If he's shaken by the mishap, Koufax doesn't show it. He jams Hector Lopez with his first pitch, and Lopez hits a slow bouncer toward short. Wills comes dancing in, takes it on a big hop, and without breaking stride, throws to first base. The Dodgers win 2-1 and sweep the series in 4 straight. All bedlam breaks loose on the field as the jubilant Dodgers try to reach Koufax, who started the sweep in the opener and then also was there to finish it. Ford hurled a brilliant 2-hitter in the finale, but superb overall pitching of the Dodgers dominated the Classic. Never before in all their wonderful years had the Yankees lost 4 in a row in a World Series. For the Dodgers, therefore, it was a glorious and dramatic triumph, unsurpassed in World Series history. And now with the score tied, something's got to give. The uncanny Unser has been sacrificed to third, and now with 2 outs, the batter is Manny Trio. Unser's run puts the Phillies ahead, and this rollicking band of Never Say Die Phillies has done it again. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, Jose Cardenal's at bat. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a triumphant Tug McGraw, and the Phillies have scratched and clawed and hung on for dear life to take a precious 3-2 lead back to Philadelphia. Without a ball hit out of the infield, the Phillies have loaded the bases with nobody out. Mike Schmidt, the batter. The Phillies go up 2-0 thanks to the clutch swinging Schmidt. Down by 3 runs, the Royals load the bases with only 1 out, and the potential lead runs at home. For 2 rookie managers, it's the moment of truth. Tug McGraw fires to Frank White, who pops it up. A miraculous grab by Pete Rose might just stand as the most lasting image of this stirring series. After all that it took to get here, the new Phillies can't afford to let it slip away now. It goes in the books as out number 2. The Phillies need just one more strike to wrap it up, and Willie Wilson stands in the way. At 11:29 p.m., October 21st, 1980, the ghosts of Phillies past are finally laid to rest.
It's the Boston ninth, and Gibson is still stubbornly trying to protect his slim 2-to-1 edge. He has fanned 10 and allowed only 6 hits. He quickly retires 2, but then Scott walks. Manager Shandes goes to the mound to caution him. A homer over that short fence could win for Boston now. Mike Andrews flies to right field. Maris grabs it to end the game. The Cardinals win 2-1. Shannon leads the rush to congratulate Gibson. It's a big win for him after coming back from a fractured ankle in mid-July. But Brock also shared heavily in the glory, getting 4 hits, scoring both runs, and stealing 2 bases. Carl Yastrzemski opens for the Red Sox in the 4th. Hughes fires another pitch. This time, Yaz doesn't miss. He connects so solidly, everybody in the park knows it's gone. Yaz goes into his home run trot around the bases, and it's a familiar one, since the star slugger walloped 44 out of the park during the season. Harner pitches, and Yastrzemski really ties into this one. It's a way back over the bullpen and into the bleachers for his 2nd home run of the day. Tartabull and Jones score. Tartabull, Jones, and Scott, the next batter, greet him at the plate, and he gets another welcome. Gibson has a 2-hitter and a 7-2 lead as he faces Yastrzemski. Carl smashes a single to right field. That brings Ken Harrelson to the plate. Gibson delivers, and Harrelson hits a grounder to short. It's Maxfield to Javier to Cepeda, a double play. Now, 1 out from victory, Gibson makes a supreme effort, and Scott strikes out. The Cardinals win. They're the new world champions. And Bob Gibson, with his 3rd victory, has brought them through in the decisive 7th game, even as he did in 1964 against the New York Yankees. It was another spectacular series, with the Red Sox fighting their way back after being down 3-1, with records shattered and glittering heroes on both sides, to underline once again that for sheer drama and thrills, the World Series is unmatched anywhere on the sports scene.
Bench provided the one element which can't be defense. Pointing the bat, a new theory, timing the pitcher's motion. And there it goes.
You have to hit. You're hitting all the way.
After his toughest summer of injury, pain, and frustration, Johnny Bench comes back in flying red colors to bring his team closer towards a red October sweep. The homer gives the Reds a lead, which they hold into the 9th. It's a close 3-2 ball game. Dick Tidrow is on the mound.
Let's play baseball. Johnny Bench.
Once again, it's Johnny Bench.
Get out, boy. Get out of here. Get out of here. Boys, I got news for you. We're going to be world's champions again, Sugar Bear. I got news for you. We are now going to be world's champions again. No, I mean, you know, if our big men don't swing, what do? We die. We die. We're not going to die. We don't play that way. Hey. Doggy, oh, baby God. Hey, John, Gary, that's the boy. Hey, you big cat, you. Atta boy. We're world champs, men.
Cincinnati scores one more to make the final score 7-2. And Sparky said it. They're world champions again. 7 straight victories over the Phillies and the Yankees in October.
Riding the crest, leadoff man Lou Whitaker. And the other half of Detroit's relentless 1-2 punch, Alan Trammell. Trammell drove one out in the first.
Come on, Al, let's go, baby, drive it!
And was still turning heads in the third. Two at-bats, 2 home runs, and 4 RBIs for Alan Trammell, one of the biggest of the Detroit Wheels. San Diego faces a tall order this day. Tiger starter Jack Morris, who's looking every bit the winningest right-hander in baseball over the past 6 years. And in the ninth, he's just 1 out away from victory. For Detroit, a 4-2 win on Morris's finicky 5-hitter. Runner on first, 1 man out, and at the plate, the hulking 6-foot 3-inch figure of Kirk Gibson. Shell-shocked, San Diego is once more in a hole. For the 5th time in 5 games, the Tigers have struck first. Gibson's blast has Detroit up 2-0. But in the bottom of the 8th, San Diego is soon in jeopardy. With 1 out, the Tigers have runners at second and third, with Kirk Gibson coming to bat. Gibson's already homered and singled, and Dick Williams' first thought is to walk him. But Gossage, a former American leaguer, doesn't want to load the bases, and he asks permission to pitch to Gibson.
We don't want to walk you. Yeah, we don't want to walk you.
Kirk Gibson's 3-run homer has blown this game apart, sweeping all of Tiger Stadium into a spontaneous celebration. In the final inning, Willie Hernandez has retired 2 Padres. Now he takes aim at history. A 4th world title for Detroit, and a show of unrestrained joy.
Now it's the Cardinals' turn to try to hold off the Yankees in the bottom of the 9th. Barney Schultz, the veteran knuckleballer, makes his 3rd straight relief appearance of the series. And the first man Barney must face is the dangerous Mickey Mantle. The Cardinals watch intently while Mantle flexes his muscles with a few quick swings. Schultz turns loose his first knuckler. Mantle tears into it with a terrific cut. Shannon races to the fence, but it's a futile gesture. A tape measure blast that crashes into the 3rd deck in right field. What a wallop. This is the fantastic sort of moonshot that sets Mickey Mantle apart among sluggers. It also shatters Babe Ruth's record for most World Series homers, number 16 for the great Yankee switch hitter. The home run not only wins the game for the Yankees 2-1, it gives them a 2-1 lead in the series. McCarver talks with Gibson, who still needs 1 more out, and the troublesome Bobby Richardson is up. But the weary Gibson reaches back for something extra. Richardson pops up. Down Maxville gathers it in. The Cardinals are the new world champions. Gibson, Boyer, and McCarver join in a big bear hug. Now it's one huge swirling mass of players and fans. Wild enthusiasm, which is a tribute to baseball's unflagging popularity. This is one day St. Louis will never forget. It was a stirring triumph by a Cardinal team reminiscent of the Gas House game. It had some of the speed of that colorful team of the 30s, some of the pitching, and all of its great heart and courage. And that, in the end, carried them through to baseball's highest honor, the World Championship.
That puts runners on first and third. The infield, the outfield drawn in. The contest now, Vic Davalio's arm against Frank Robinson's aging legs. The Orioles have tied the series up with a grim comeback in what has to be one of the most dramatic World Series games of all time. Frank Robinson fills us in on his determined heads-up base running.
Going in the 3rd, I'm watching that Richie Hebner went to the inside to take the throw, so I knew I had to slide to the outside. And I knew it was going to be close, so that's why I went in head first. And I believe that's the quickest way for me to get there. I'm just thinking now we're on first and third with one out, and Brooks coming up. Just know Brooks is going to get you home some kind of way. The main thing when I was thinking about coming down towards the line is I have to score. I got to score. And Manny Sanguin, he went up in the air, so I knew I had to go between his legs and not around it. So it was just a real tough play, but I just knew Brooks would get me in some kind of way.
Mike Cuellar, back for the Orioles, matches Blass. 3 scoreless innings with less trouble. But with 2 out in the 4th, Clemente, the unsinkable Pirate, and the Pirates lead 1-0. And now the last hope for the Orioles, Merv Rettenman. Hitting to the same spot that set up Baltimore's winning run the day before. But this time it's plugged up. And the game, the series, it's all over. Pittsburgh with a World Series victory as improbable as the one that shipped the Yankees 11 years ago. And the only major link between then and now, Roberto Clemente, again hitting in all 7 games for a devastating 414 average, and doing everything else expected of a superstar, in the field, on the bases, putting on a one-man show, total in concept and execution. A most valuable player on a battling, superb championship team.
Now the game was in the hands of Danny Cox, the winner of Game 5. He came in hoping to hold on to the lead as he faced Kirby Puckett. Gagne at first, 1 out. Ripped toward the gap in right center field for extra bases, up against the fence. Gagne around third, on his way in. The game is tied on a double. And so in the 5th inning of the final game of the season, it was back to even. The Twins had come back again on a hit by the man who had gotten 207 of them this season to tie for the league lead. In the meantime, Viola had settled into a groove since the 2nd inning and was now really making sweet music. He was in almost complete control, and in the 3rd and 4th innings, he struck out 4 consecutive batters. He was keeping the Cardinals off the bases, and he was keeping the Minnesota fans smiling with delight. Ken Herbeck and Roy Smalley, who was replaced by pinch runner Al Newman, filled the bases. With Todd Worrell on in relief, Greg Gagne came to the plate. Ground ball, Wallace stabs it, throws a one-hopper too late. The Twins had finally forged ahead 3-2, and the Dome crowd was in 7th heaven. In the dugout, Tom Kelly told Frank Viola that he would go with his closer, Jeff Reardon, in the 9th. Now the fans could barely hold back their joy as Willie McGee came up with nobody on, 2 out, and the Cardinal hopes slipping away. To Gaetti, for the first time ever, the Minnesota Twins are the world champions. 26 years after baseball had come to the Twin Cities, Minnesota had won the World Series.
Reggie on first, Thurman Munson on second, and Sweet Lou Piniella at the plate. Tommy John trying to hold a 3-1 lead. The stage is set for the biggest play of the series. Russell drops the line drive, gets the course at second, but hits Jackson with a relay to first, and Munson scores from second base. Sort of the very act of Jackson standing in the path of Russell's throw constituted interference. But National League umpire Frank Cooley ruled no wrongful intent, therefore no interference. The Yankees creep within a run. The lethal Thurman Munson at bat in the bottom of the 8th. 1 out. Colbert at second, thanks to his single and White's sacrifice bunt. Munson covers a double to left, and Blair races home to make it a 3-3 tie. Extra innings, middle of the 10th. Still 3-3. One of the game's best pure hitters waits. White tenses. Vanilla clubs a high fastball. Roy White scores the gamer, and the Yankees win 4-3. Mirror, mirror on the wall, which star glitters brightest of them all? Is it Reggie Jackson who got sweet revenge against Bob Welch by pulverizing a fastball to close out the Yankees' 7-2 win?
In the bottom of the ninth, the Cardinals entrust their title hopes to Todd Worrell as St. Louis stands 3 outs away from a Game 6 victory in the World Championship. Leading off the inning is a pinch hitter, George Orta. As Clark fields the ball, Worrell covers, but Orta is safe, and the Cardinals see red. Umpire Don Dinkinger's call will forever be both controversial and unchangeable. With nobody out, the Royals have 2 men on, and Dick Hauser sends in a pinch runner for Balboni, Onyx Concepcion. Now making just his 3rd trip to the plate in the series, Hal McRae pinch hits with 1 out. A passed ball, and a costly one at that, as both runners easily move up 90 feet. Now the next move is obvious. McRae has walked intentionally, and the bases are filled. Waiting in the wings is former Cardinal Dane Orge, ready to pinch hit with the ball game on the line. 1 run is in to tie, and racing around from second is Sundberg. He's safe, and the Royals have done it. For the first time all year, the Cardinals have lost a 9th inning lead. And with a clutch hit from Dane Orge, Kansas City's 9th inning miracle has made Game 7 a reality. 11 runs, an awesome margin, especially with the soon-to-be-named most valuable player of the series, Brett Saberhagen, on the mound. The proud father of a 1-day-old son needs just 1 more out for the biggest moment in the history of the 17-year-old Royal franchise. Darryl Motley awaits, and the Kansas City Royals are world champions. Now, alongside 6 division titles and 2 pennants, the Royals can finally wear the title crown.
With the game tied and a potential winning run on third, the mustachioed marvel Dick Williams selects his 3rd pinch hitter of the inning. A new World Series record. And who can knock it? Angel Manuel faces Clay Carroll. Three pinch hitters, 3 base hits. And Dick Williams' Oakland A's pull it out to go 2 up. Now Campanera steps in with only 1 out, runners on 1st and 3rd. Odom attempting to score on a short pop fly foul is out. Morgan to bench, and the game is over. On the replay, Blue Moon Odom comments.
I think it was a good gamble because Morgan was going back and he was playing the ball off banners, and plus the turf was wet. And I gave it a try, and I thought I was in, but actually I was out. The umpire said, but it was a close play. It was a good gamble.
But Johnny Bench had the plate blocked. Odom loses his gamble, and it's back to Cincinnati. It all comes down to the bottom of the 9th in Game 7. And as the final out of the 1972 World Series settles in Joe Rudy's glove, the Oakland A's are the world champions of baseball.
And Cardinal rookie Willie McGee, whom Whitey Herzog discovered somewhat accidentally, stepped up with 2 aboard. Oh my, a 3-run blast for McGee, who homered only 4 times in the regular season, but now including 1 homer against the Braves in the championship series, had 2 in postseason play. Then in the 7th, McGee made it 3. Only 2 other rookies, Charlie Keller and Tony Kubek, ever hit 2 homers in one series game. Relief star Bruce Sutter had to be used and almost abused, allowing 2 in the 8th before Gorman Thomas threatened more with a man on in the 9th. Incredible! Had this ball gone out, it would have been 6-4. Instead, it was instant replays and praises for Willie McGee. After an intentional walk, home run king Gorman Thomas steps in with the bases loaded, hoping to shake a 2-for-14 slump. Two more runs scored to make it 7-5 Milwaukee. Without warning under powder blue skies, the Storm was back in Brewtown. 6 7th-inning runs, all with 2 outs. A 7-5 final score and a World Series all even at 2 games apiece. With the long haul of the season and postseason almost done, the Cardinals know the score. Momentum must be reclaimed. The final trial is now. Mike Ramsey pinch running at first. And with the potential tying runs in scoring position, the batter, Keith Hernandez, the Cardinals' top clutch hitter. Ozzie Smith scores. Lonnie Smith scores. Even the deck. Cards 3, Brewers 3. The drama was building for silent George Hendrick. In the Cards, Ramsey scores the tiebreaker. Like a would-be flash flood on the Mississippi, St. Louis bursts back 4-3. Gorman Thomas remains the final hope for Milwaukee. 2 down, no one on in the 9th. Perfect for 2 innings, Sutter provides the perfect ending. The St. Louis Cardinals are world champions for the 9th time. And for the first time ever, the National League can count 4 straight World Series winners.
Ricky, what percent are you? I don't really know, Ron. I feel 85 or so.
Unless he tells me he cannot go 98%, then he's going to be in the lineup.
You will definitely play. Unless Charlie calls and says I can.
Reggie Jackson, troubled by a painful hamstring, uses words to convince the Oakland management he's ready. Reggie quickly switches to action, and his home run in the 2nd inning of Game 1 convinces the Dodgers he's more than ready.
High changeup. Looking at the skip. There's nothing on. No hit and run or anything. Get a good pitch now, Joey! Oh, get on it! Get on, ball! Get gone! Oh, yeah! It's a home run! I told you! Oh, yeah! There it is! Oh, Fergie! I knew he was due! Oh, yeah! I called that shot, Joey! I called it! Oh, yeah!
Fingers faces Bill Russell now with 1 out and the potential tying run at first. Dick Green's flawless fielding triggers his 3rd double play of the night, and the A's lead the series 2 games to 1. The final score, 3-2, duplicates the first 2 contests. Alvin Dark sends Jim Holt to the plate to pinch hit for Ray Fosse with the bases loaded. Holt single knocks in 2 Oakland runs, and the A's are back in front 4-2. The Dodgers disagree. Steve Yeager's of the opinion that Reggie Jackson was out. The replay reveals that umpire Don Denkinger made the correct call. Yeager's late applying the tag, and Jackson's slide carries him safely home with a 4th Oakland tally. The A's add an insurance run on a force play and turn over the lockup chore to none other than Raleigh Fingers. Here's a second look as Dick Green makes a spectacular play to initiate a game-ending double play. Green's acrobatic fielding has foiled the Dodgers all series long, and the A's now are just one victory away from their third consecutive championship. The A's turn at bat in the bottom of the seventh is delayed by a fan's disturbance in the outfield. Pitcher Mike Marshall vacates the mound to join in the discussion, but refuses the opportunity for a few extra warm-up tosses when play resumes. With Joe Rudy at the plate, Marshall says he's ready, and Rudy guesses fastball. Joe Rudy's home run has the A's on top. Raleigh Fingers, on his way to the World Series Most Valuable Player Award, needs just 3 outs, and he can settle back into the driver's seat of a brand-new automobile. Ron Say flies out to the edge of the warning track, and Fingers breathes a sigh of relief. Willie Crawford pops up to Dick Green for the second out. Von Joshua represents the Dodgers' last chance. Raleigh Fingers wraps it up, and the Oakland Coliseum explodes into ecstasy as the Oakland A's capture their third successive World Championship.